see. Cool. Looks like we are good. Does anybody, before we get into the ad setup process, does anybody have any questions? Basically, what we're going to do from here is jump into Google Ads. I'm going to close some tabs out. But we're going to go ahead and build out a campaign. And somebody was asking, what is the... let me see here. I think we have... I think this is it right here. Let me double check. Okay, cool. Yeah, so like we have this little cheat sheet that we put together. It's actually in a nicer PDF. I gotta find it. Actually, Tim, if you have that and you can drop it to me in Slack or something, we'll be good to go. But basically, what these are, demand gen campaigns, the way it works. And the reason we need the different sizes is because Google's changing all of the YouTube ads to demand gen campaigns starting, I want to say next month, right? And so like the way that it works is it basically gives you the ability to put your ads in a bunch of different places. So like demand gen ads, where are the formats? Oh geez, that's not good. Can't even read that now. Yeah, okay. Cool. So basically, demand gen ads allow your ads to show up in a lot of different spaces. So like if somebody's on YouTube on their phone, right? You know, they're watching it vertically a lot of times, or like watching shorts on YouTube, right? The vertical video is just going to allow your ad to be shown in additional places where your audience is going to be and give you additional chances to interact with your audience or to get your ads shown. So it's just like expanding the potential ad inventory that you have, right? So hopefully that makes sense. But basically like in-stream, shorts, in-feed, which we'll talk about it'll all make sense in 1 second here when we actually set up our ads, right? So let's see. Cool. All right. Well, yeah. So let's go ahead and dig in, right? So first things first, like I said, what I like to do, obviously you're going to need to upload your videos to YouTube, right? So you come over to YouTube. Cool. You're going to click this create button. You're going to upload your videos, right? They're going to go into your YouTube account. You can have a very basic empty YouTube channel. It doesn't matter, but just upload your videos. And then once you get them, you're going to snag your video ads. They're going to look like this, right? And so for instance, let me see. Here we go. This is what it looks like.
The first step to funnel hacking is finding ads.
And you can see this is actually the ad that I was targeting funnel hackers with, right? So we've got our funnel hacking YouTube ad, and I just straight up call out funnel hackers. Hey, the first step to funnel hacking is, finding a winning ad. And today I want to give you a free piece of software that's going to let you find and bookmark ads, right? So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. That's how all that works. And let me just pull up my notes as well so I don't skip anything here. And we should be good. Okay, cool. So, boom. Cool. Okay, so basically we have our ads. They're ready to go. What I like to do before I ever launch an ad is I sit down and I map out everything. I'm like, here's my video ads, right? Here's my vertical, my square, my horizontal. Here's my funnel steps. Here's my opt-in page. Here's my thank you page. And I'll go through my checklist and I'll just make sure, is my conversion tracking pixel on this thank you page? Yes, it is. Cool. Right. And we already did that earlier in this session, so we're not going to go through and do it again. But basically what we need to actually launch these is audiences and the very first page in the funnel, right? So that is what we need there. And then it's time to actually get our ads set up, right? So real quick, let's talk about the different audiences that we want to build, because before we go to launch an ad, we actually need to build an audience, right? So you're going to come over here to tools and you're going to go audience manager and you're going to go to audiences, right? So we're going to go to audiences. We're going to click plus button, right? So there's a couple of different types of audiences that we're going to want to target. And basically, let me just share my iPad here. And we'll dig into those. I'll show you exactly how all those work. Cool. Right on. Okay, cool. So when it comes time to target our audiences, we have audiences. There we go. Move this over. Okay, cool. So there's a few things we want to do. I always like to go with placements, right? So number one is going to be placements. Right? So we always want to have placements. Currently, placements are not in everybody's account with demand gen campaigns, but they're going to be rolled out. They're saying sometime this month or next month is what I've heard. So everybody's going to have those shortly, but you can still set up placements without a goal, and I'll show you how to do that as well, right? So placements. Number two is going to be a custom intent audience. So that's going to be websites. I always like doing websites. Number three, where did I put my, let's see, I had some notes that were a little bit better here. There we go, websites. Okay, cool. In market. Four is gonna be custom intent. And five is going to be lookalikes, if you can. So let's talk about exactly how to set all of those up real quick. And yeah, but just a heads up, you know, I like to start with these five. You don't need all five. You can start with like three of them. I recommend starting with at least three and going from there. But those are like the top five we want to target, right? So let me pull up my actual screen. Oh, and somebody was asking, that's a good question. Do you have to warm up a channel? No, you don't. You can literally start with a completely empty channel that has nothing on it, and you are good to go. So, desktop 2, here we go. All right. So, obviously, placements are going to be extremely easy. If I come over here to TubeSift, let me see, where did that go? Sorry, I got too many tabs open. Let me close some of these. Way too many tabs for this. Okay. Cool. Now I'll be able to find it. Close that as well. All right, cool. Close some flicky out. All right. They're not. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, I have a lot of these up and running right now. So, okay, cool. Oh, we'll just log in real quick. I don't know where it went. Okay, cool. So we're in. So video search. So I am going to be doing the bookmarker funnel for this example, right? So I'm going to come over here to TubeSift, and I know that, you know, I'm offering a YouTube ad bookmarker. So somebody might be searching for how to save YouTube ads, right? It's pretty straightforward. Obviously, this is very specific. So like some of these aren't going to have a ton of views, but there we go. So here we go, like how to, you know, we don't want any like the skip ones or anything like that. So let me just go like 50 and we'll find this, right? Now, for placements, I like to have, you know, quite a few if I can. It's not a big deal if you only have a few. It's still going to be hyper targeted. But yeah, let's just kind of run through this real quick. And obviously a lot of these are going to be like how to block YouTube ads and stuff like that with this specific one. But I can come over here and I can be like, okay, cool. How to find and save YouTube ads. That is 61,000 views. That's cool. How to find ads you've seen on YouTube and rewatch them. How to download YouTube ads. How to save YouTube ads. You know, skip YouTube ads. Nope. YouTube is Google Ads script will save you 8 to 10 hours. Sure, that'll work. You know, step-by-step YouTube ad tutorial, all that kind of stuff, right? So I can start to add these here. Boom, and, you know, go through here, and I can actually pull up all of these. And here we go, how to find ads on YouTube. YouTube ad tutorial, probably not bad. Probably, you know, I can target a lot of these things, right? So that's one example here, and I can basically just like get these links. I can save these into a placement list. So I can add these to a list, how to save YouTube ads, cool. Now, another thing that people might be searching for is, because that's like a very specific thing. I might look for like YouTube ad swipe file, right? And I'll do a search for that. Here we go. And then we're kind of getting a little bit deeper, right? How to save YouTube ads for your swipe file. YouTube ad swipe file, 130 best swipe files. That's me. How to build a YouTube ad swipe file, right? So this is finding all of those, and this actually might be a little bit better, how to build a swipe file for copywriting and all that kind of stuff, right? So let's pretend all of these work. I'm just gonna, select all of these. I'm gonna add them to my list, and I'm gonna go, where was that? How to save YouTube ads. Here we go. All right, cool. I'm gonna add all those to that. Now we have like 57 videos in that list. Cool. That's gonna be fine for us there, right? So that's one of our audiences built. We'll use that in a minute here. But now we need to build our other audiences. So we talked about placements. So we got placements there. Now let's do websites, right? So I'm gonna come over here to the audience builder, and I'm gonna say it's a YouTube ad bookmarker. My target audience is marketers that want to save or create a swipe file. Right? Cool. I'm going to generate a custom segment. Now, I also know that Facebook ads, like Facebook has a library, right? Or Facebook has a Facebook ad library, things like that. But you can see over here, like, these are all of the websites that marketers are going to be visiting, right? So this is pretty simple right here, like Adage, Marketing Land, blah, blah, blah. I would throw ClickFunnels, things like that in there. But I'm just going to copy these, and I'm going to say, marketing websites or something like that, right? And then I'm going to go custom segments. I'm going to go new segment, and I'm going to go to people who browse these types of websites, right? And paste all these in here, right? Easy. And this is going to be marketing sites. Cool. And I'm going to save that. And you can see the topics. This is like dead on. Search engine optimization and marketing, business and industrial marketing, advertising and marketing, right? Great. So I can save this audience. Now, obviously, we're going to choose the demographics in here if we want. You can choose that. Obviously, it's going to depend on your space, right? Who your ideal audience is, all that good stuff. But you can choose your age, parental status, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to keep this pretty basic here, and we're just going to go marketing websites, for bookmarker. Cool. I'm going to save that. So now we have one audience set up, and then we also have placements. Then I'm going to come to in market, right? So I'm going to go to audiences again. I'm going to build another audience. I'm going to call this, in market for, YouTube ads or something like that, right? And I can come over here to these custom segments, interest in demographics. That's where I'm going. And I'm going to browse these, and I'm going to go to in market audiences. And I want to find people who are, business services probably. And here we go. I want people who are interested in advertising and marketing services, who are interested in, you can also search too, right? So I can go like YouTube ads, YouTube advertising, right? So I can target people who are interested in email marketing services. Let's see here. Here we go. People who are in the market for YouTube advertising and advertising services, web advertising services. These are all people who want to run ads, right? So these would be a good audience for me. So I can build that out. Same thing, demographics, blah, blah, blah. And I can save that, right? So then we have our in-market audiences. And again, you can come over here to the custom audience builder that helped me with the websites. I can target people with these purchase intentions, digital marketing, social media marketing, all that kind of stuff. I can build another audience out that way, right? I'm only going to set up 2 campaigns here, so I'm not going to build all these audiences out. I know we've been going for a long time. I'm trying not to go over the 4 hours. So we're going to keep this short and sweet, but you get the point, right? Does that make sense to everybody how we can build these audiences just like that? I just want to make sure that we're good to go here. But basically, okay, cool. This is great. Perfect. Sweet. So yeah, so we build these audiences out. We're good to go. Now, one thing I do want to show you over here in these, wait, no, sorry, not custom segments. In the audiences, if we click plus, oh, nope, it's going to have to be in campaign setup. Okay, cool. So we built our audiences out. It is time for us to set up our campaigns, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So let's just create a new campaign. We'll click that plus button and we'll go campaign, right? And then we're going to choose what we want. Well, I'm generating leads, right? So I want to generate leads. And don't worry about this part right here. These are like all my conversions over here. But you can add a goal and basically, like signups is what I'm going for. And these are people that, or submit lead forms, sorry. So here's my submit lead forms. You can create custom things, but whatever. It's gonna make me do this anyway in a second. So let's just click continue. Now, ooh, they changed it. Did they already? Okay, so this is what it used to be. If you click this, it's gonna like force you to do a demand gen campaign. So let's just go demand gen, right? And then let's click continue. And I'm gonna start a new one. Now we'll call this, what I always like to do is say, type of campaign, but I always like to start like YouTube bookmarker or TubeSift bookmarker. And then this one is demand gen, and then I like to keep the date in there just so I know when I started it. And then I like to throw what targeting I'm going to be doing. So this would be like marketing websites. Right? Cool. So marketing websites, I'm going to go for conversions, and then it's going to make me choose my conversion goals again, right? Now, something you can do, obviously I want to go for like signups, but also submit lead forms, but I also want purchases because I'm also selling video ad vault. So I can create custom goals. And basically what I'm going to do here is, let me see. Oh, it's not going to let me. Hold on, let me pause my screen and open this up one more time. And let me just go as a Google sign in. So let me just show you where this is. I don't want to pull up some client accounts on accident. So bear with me for 1 second here. Okay. Okay, cool. So over here in our tools, we've got our goals. We've got our conversions. Come on. Goals, conversions, summary, right? So you can create custom conversion action sets, which is going to be all the way down here at custom goals, right? So what I like to do is lump my goals together. So I go custom goal. So this might be the, downloads bookmarker. Where is that? Or bookmarker opt-in, right? So this would be like bookmarker submits lead form. That's going to be that. And then also I'm selling video ad vault, right? So I'm going to try and find I have a lot of these conversions in here. Here. VAV, here we go. So purchases, video ad vault, right? So this is going to be VAV and bookmarker goal, right? So I'm lumping those together, knowing that those are in the funnel. And then what I can do when it actually comes time to do this, I go to add goal. And then that was bookmarker, and I don't know if it loaded yet, but basically my custom goals are going to be in here. And you can see all my custom goals, right? So I would find that one I made. So like bookmarker giveaway, whatever. We obviously, this is one that we actually built for it. And it's got all the goals in it. So this has like all of my stuff, and I'm going to choose that. It's got these 5 actions. It's like submits the lead form. There's a few other products they can buy. All of those are in here. So every time somebody purchases one of these or meets one of those goals, it's going to report. And, because a lot of times if I'm getting a cheap cost per lead in one of my campaigns, that might look great, but really what I want is sales. So I want to make sure that my sales are being tracked in here as well, right? So we choose our goal. You can set a target CPA if you'd like. And here it's going to, whatever, I could put like $20 or something like that. It's going to come back and say something. If I put like $5, it might be like, hey, you want to boost that. Here we go. You want $16 or whatever, right? So you can do that, or you can do $5. It doesn't matter. If you have a brand new campaign, do not choose a target cost per action. Just leave that off, and Google will basically do maximize conversions, and they'll try and get as many conversions as possible from this for you, right? Then my daily budget, maybe I want to spend like $25, right? They're saying I should spend 270 because we spend a lot on our campaigns, but just you can ignore that. But you know, whatever. I can set it to 270 if I want. I'm going to test with 25. Then we get into our location, right? So I can turn this on, which you should, and you can basically, let's see, if you can't use target CPA, just don't. Just do maximize conversions like we're doing here. Then I'm going to choose where I'm targeting, right? I'm just going to leave this all countries and territories for this example, but just know you can enter locations. If you're doing local businesses, you can throw in like 100 South Station or whatever. Here we go. Like I can target people within a 20-mile radius of this place in Philly if I want, right? I'm not going to do that, but you can. And you can also put all your locations here. I'm just going to leave that all countries and territories. We're good to go. What language your ad is in. This is extremely important. Choose whatever language your ad is in. So mine's in English. I'm going to choose English. Now, devices. This, we want to set specific targeting for devices, and you want to turn off TV screens. Nobody's going to opt in on a TV. They're just not. So if you're going for leads, turn off TV screens. If you are going to be targeting TV screens, make sure you have a QR code that's scannable from your phone on your TV ad. But for now, just turn off TV screens. It makes everything way easier. Then we get into our ad schedule. When do we want this to run? I want it to run whenever. Cool. If you have any like third-party tracking software or measurement tied into your Google account, you can do that. Otherwise, you can do your tracking templates right here. So if you use Hyros or ClickMagic or whatever, you can put your tracking templates here. And then Google Video Partners, I like to keep that off, right? So basically that's going to make sure that your ad is only being shown on YouTube. If you turn that off, if you turn it on, you're going to get some of those, when you go to websites and you see like a video ad that's playing or whatever, that could be on there, right? So I like to make sure that's off, and I go to ad group 1. Then we get into our ad group. So that's our campaign, right? Our campaign is just those basic settings. Ad group 1 is basically our audience in here. So this is going to be like websites marketers visit or whatever, marketing websites. Cool. And we're going to add an audience. Now, we have our ad, which was other audience, or our website. Where was that? What did I call it? And you can see all these ones we've built out. So like right here, like funnel hacking and all that kind of stuff. These are like funnel hacking for the bookmarker. This is going to be targeting ClickFunnels and stuff like that, right? You can also go new audience. And then over here, you can see these lookalike segments, right? This is really cool. If you have like an email list or something like that, you can create a new one and you can upload a seed list, right? So you can upload a seed list. So like I took all of our email lists and upload it into here, and I can be like, okay, cool. These are qualified leads. I want to target these people, and you can set like narrow, balanced, or broad. So this is a really cool new thing in demand gen campaigns. They take 48 hours to generate and show ads. So just a heads up there. They can only be used with demand gen campaigns. But if you have an email list, and this is especially awesome once you start generating leads, you get like 1,000 or so leads, you can upload those lists. This is a little more advanced, but we can talk about this if we continue to work together or whatever. But the seed lists, you can upload your email lists, all your buyers, all that kind of stuff. And this will create an audience of people who are, either broad match, balanced, or narrow. And you can create all of these audiences of lookalike people. This is a great way to scale once you get started. And this is one of the campaigns that I love to run if you can. These have been doing extremely well for us, but just a heads up, that's kind of how you create those there. So I'm going to come over here to, that's not a new audience. We don't want the new one. This was marketing websites is the one I built that I wanted to target. Websites, digital marketing. I think this was it. well, we already had those. Marketing websites for Bookmarker. Here it is. So I'm going to choose that, right? Because that's the audience that we just built. Now, I like to turn off optimized targeting in the beginning. Once you get some conversions going, you can come turn that on or make new campaigns and do optimized targeting. That's just going to expand your targeting beyond your selected audience. For now, I just want to target people in my audience. Again, you can put your tracking templates in here for that. Then we go to set up our ad. Now we're going to choose video ad because, well, we're doing video ads, right? So that's what we want. So we're going to name this. So this might be like hook number 1, right? Or something like that. Then we are going to put our final URL in here. So I'm going to pull up my document. This is why I like to have everything in one spot. I'm going to copy this link and I am going to paste it right here. That's where they're going to land, right? Cool. Then it's time for us to add our videos. So I'm going to just snag my video ads here. Here's my, let's just copy this. And then I got my vertical, square, and horizontal, right? Or let's use these 3, right? So we got a vertical right here. And so we're going to paste this here, vertical. If you don't have all of these videos, don't worry. You can literally run it with your 5 hooks. So you can just put your 5 hooks. They can all be horizontal, whatever, but they do recommend, and we recommend kind of going with this as well. So here's our square, and we're going to paste that here, and our horizontal, boom. So this is why it's nice to have everything here in one spot. So I like to do that, right? Cool. So there we go. There our ads are, bookmarker, vertical, square, horizontal, right? Now, you can choose where these are shown if you want, or you can let Google choose. It's up to you. This vertical is going to be, so vertical, up and down, right? So that's going to be on shorts. So I can force it to just show on shorts here if I want. Or, honestly, you can just leave all formats and Google will figure out which one. So you can just leave that off. It's not a big deal. So we're good to go there. We got our ads chosen. You do have to have a logo, right? So just a heads up here, you need to have a logo. I can edit this and basically upload a logo. If you don't have a logo, I can like delete this out of here real quick. And what it's going to look like, here we go. So at least one logo is required. This isn't actually going to show up, but just a heads up, you can come over to like ChatGPT and just be like, whatever, new chat. Can you make me a square logo or a health channel, right? Easy. You can get more into this, but yeah, Banner Studio can also do this. So, because this is a little bit harder, but whatever. The other thing you could do, that's a good call there, is you can come over to TubeSift or, bear with me for 1 second here. Where did my TubeSift? Oh, it was right here. Duh. We were in TubeSift. So you go to Banner Studio and you can launch this Banner Design Studio. So good call there, George. So I can go, hey, I want a square logo, which is right here, 250 by 250. I click OK, and then I can like import images. I can use photos, whatever I want to do here, make a logo, save it. Cool. You just use your photo, whatever you want. We already have a logo though. It's very simple to make a logo, so don't worry too much about that. And I'm just going to add a logo, and here is the TubeSift logo. Cool. I swear I had one that was, whatever. We'll just save that. Cool. So there's our logo. It's good to go. Now, video enhancements. Turn these off because we already uploaded the versions we want, right? Then we get into our headline. So our headline, we can add up to 5 of these, but this might be like free YouTube ad, right? And you can add 5 of these. I'm just going to put 1 for now. Long headline, or like free software saves YouTube ads with a click, right? Description, obviously fill this in. This is going to be 90 characters, but it might be, I'm just going to throw the same thing in. Whatever. Cool. And then call to action. So this is obviously a download. So I might just like download, right? There we go. Business name is TubeSift. Cool. And that could be your channel name, whatever, right? And then we want to click this URL and other options. And you can change out your mobile settings if you'd like, but the most important thing down here is companion banner. So remember when we saw a YouTube ad? I do. Let's see here. So if we choose like come on. One of these is going to have an ad eventually.
Most people have no clue.
Okay.
The best way to increase your income is not with stocks or real estate.
There we go. So this is the companion banner, book publishing made simple, right? It looks something like that. We want to make sure that we have that, right? So we want to upload an image and it's 300 by 60 pixels, right? So I'm going to come over here to the Banner Design Studio. I'm going to restart and I'm going to choose the companion banner 300 by 60, right? It's in here. It's good to go. So this is it. You can see we can zoom in a little bit. That's what it's going to look like. You can throw up, I like to throw like a good background on this or whatever it is. You can create this, blah, 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 whatever you want to do here. Anyway, so you can create this. I already have one. I don't want to waste time like running you through a tutorial on how to create a companion banner. So let's just jump back over here. But you just know you can create them very quickly and easily. Upload an image. We can add this. And here's all our companion banners, right? So this is what we tend to do with these things. So let me find the bookmarker one. Here we go. TubeSift bookmarker, save any YouTube ad for free, right? So you want it to look something like this. You can throw text on there, all that good stuff. Just think of it as extra real estate for your ad, because if somebody clicks on this companion banner, they're also taken to your landing page, right? So it's just an extra place to put ad copy. So we're good to go, and that is it. We're just going to do that, right? And these are all like one angle. So these are all one hook, right? So when I used Flicky or whatever it is, and I made my vertical, my horizontal, and my square, those all have the same hook, right? Then I have the 5-1-1 method. So I want 4 other videos in here. So from here, I'm just going to duplicate this ad, right? This is going to duplicate it right here for me. Whoops, here we go. So then I can click over here and I'm going to call this, hook number 2, right? So this would be ad with hook number 2. I'm going to delete these videos right here and I'm going to come back and I'm going to snag whatever, hook number 2, right? So I'm going to copy this URL and I'm going to do the same exact thing. It's cool when you duplicate it because you don't have to go and put all that copy and logo and companion banner and all that. It literally just like duplicates everything and then you're only split testing your hooks, right? So I'm going to delete these, but that is because I don't have the different hooks for this right now, but there we go. Cool. So we're good. And we are going to go to hook 1, boom, review campaign, and we're good. So go to review. It's going to be like, okay, cool. You need to spend more money. Don't listen to it. You can get more details here and you can kind of change some of this stuff here. But we're going to go and we're going to publish this campaign, right? That's it. Our ad is up and running and we are published. Now, once we do this, I'm just going to publish this real quick because it's not going to mess anything up really. So I come over here and then I go to my campaigns, right? And I go to campaign. So remember, we're going to be targeting other things here. So I've got my campaign right here. Let me just go view online campaigns. And where was my bookmarker? Bookmarker demand gen, right? So I'm going to click this. I'm going to go edit and I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to uncheck everything. And over here, there's going to be a paste button. I'm going to paste that. I'm going to go done. I'm going to paste that into my campaign and I'm going to paste it. Into my account. I'm going to paste it. This is going to duplicate that. So all I have to do is swap out my audience and I'll show you how to do that. And then when we do that, we go websites, in market, custom intent, all that good stuff. We are good to go. So let's let that run in the background a little bit. And any questions while we're waiting for this to duplicate it? Let me know in the chat, and we can dig in there if there are any questions. Let's see. Cool. Well, eventually this will be good. Let me just do a quick refresh because it's kind of annoying. Let's see. And let me close Slack because it keeps bumping up. Okay, cool. So we'll see our duplicated one right here, number 2, right? So I'm going to edit this, and this one's going to be in market, right? Or whatever it might be, right? So I'm just going to change out the targeting name. And I'm going to save that. And I'm going to come through here, and I'm just going to come in, and I'm going to go to this. I'm going to change this to in market as well. Save that. And I'm going to come in, and I'm going to go to my audiences, keywords, and content, right? So I got my audiences here. Let me see if we got this. Okay, cool. Audiences, right? So here is my audience right here. All I'm going to do is edit this audience. And I'm going to delete this marketing sites. And I'm going to come to my custom segments that I built. And this one was in market, right? For my second one. And where was this? Well, you're going to find that audience, right? So pretend we have that. Whatever. I'm just going to go ad managers, right? Pretend this is the end market. But either way, this is people who have different ad managers on their phones. So I know that's also a good audience. But yeah, we're good to go. And then I'm literally just going to save that. And it's going to ask me what do I want to do. I want to save this audience, right? And then so because this is a little different than the one that we actually have. So actually, let me discard that, and I'll just switch audience right here. Here we go. Okay, there we go. That's what I meant to do. So then we can switch over here for in market. There we go. That's what I actually wanted. In market for YouTube ads. There it is. I clicked the wrong thing. So there we go. You just click switch audience, right? And then it swaps the audience out, and we are good to go. Now we have 2 campaigns set up for the bookmarker with the audiences swapped out, right? So it's as easy as that. And I'm just gonna, you can see over here, here's my, in market and my other one. I'm gonna delete these, but yeah, there we go. So it's as simple as that to get these audiences set up. Now, let me show you exactly what we do when we want to set up a placement campaign, right? So for now, not everybody has content targeting. It's going to look like this when you do have it. And basically, when the demand gen campaigns come through, you're going to be able to click add it. You can choose this, choose your placements, and then you can literally just add these here, right? So we've got our placements from TubeSift right here. I can go to my placement lists and how to save YouTube ads. I can just click get links and copy these right here. And then I can paste them into our placements, right? So I can go enter, boom, just add all these, and we're good to go. So that's going to be how it works, and then you can just add it to the campaign. But for now, not everybody has that. So let me give you a quick rundown. You will very shortly, but let me give you a quick rundown. We'll just set up a new campaign. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but basically you go, hey, I want to create a campaign without a goals guidance, and I want it to be a video campaign. I want video views, and I'm going to click continue, right? I'm going to start a new one, and I'm just going to, name this, choose, obviously I want skippable in-stream or in-feed, whatever. You can do your multi-format, set your campaign total or daily budget. So we'll throw that 25 in there again. And this is pretty much the same setup. It's just got your locations, all that kind of stuff, devices. Again, we're going to turn this off. So it's the exact same setup. It's just all on one screen. Somebody asked about frequency capping. I do not cap frequency. If somebody watches my whatever video 2 times a day or whatever, sure. But honestly, most of the time I don't mess with this. It's fine. Like if people see my ads a bunch, they just think I'm cooler. No, or they hate me. I don't know. But yeah, I don't mess with frequency capping usually. You can. This is basically like impressions. Impressions when somebody sees your ad and skips, and then view is when they obviously watch 30 seconds of the whole thing, right? So, so that's how that goes. We name our ad group, same kind of thing. And then over here, you can see the audience. So we can add saved audiences, or we go to our content. We just add placements again, and we just paste all of these right here, add those 57 placements, and then you go through the exact same setup with your YouTube ad. The only difference is with this, you're bidding on cost per view, right? So it's saying, hey, you're going to pay about 2 cents a view, right? So I just say, whatever, cool, 2 cents a view, perfect. And then we create that campaign. So that's the only difference. Very shortly, probably by next month, like I said, everybody's going to have content targeting in their demand gen campaigns. So that is exactly how all that works, right? So that being said, let's check out a couple questions because that's the whole ad setup right there. And let's see. Boom. How do I know how much to bid per view? Google just tells me. Like it says 2 cents, so I just put 2 cents in there. And here we go. Cool. Tim sent me the demand gen thing. So I'll get everybody this real quick. Let me share my screen again as well. So let's see. So I'll give this to everybody real quick, but like, here's our demand gen SLP. So you're gonna have to download that. Let's see. Here. I'm just gonna share this with you. So let me just copy the link and I'll just drop this in here. So here's a cool SLP for everybody for demand gen ads. Let me just send this to everybody in Zoom. This is a cool little bonus. Wasn't gonna throw this out there, but here you go. Everybody. Okay, cool. Boom. There we go. So there's that for everybody. That's a cool little SOP we have for setting up these demand gen campaigns, right? Cool. Okay. Now, finally getting back into the slides, right? And real quick, does that make sense to everybody? I know we ran through a lot today. I just want to make sure everybody's like, got this and that we're good to go. That I don't think I missed anything. I had notes. I was running through it. I know this has been a long training. We're like at 4 hours now, but I figured it's going to be about 4 hours. So that being said, we are about to wrap this one up. I had mentioned in the beginning that, there was going to be a chance to work with us ongoing if you want. So if it's cool with everybody, I'm going to, explain that real quick and go from there. So remember, with YouTube ads, you can easily control your leads like a tap. You can spend less time managing and stressing. You can scale indefinitely to meet your needs, and you can multiply your audiences easily by tapping into other people's audiences. YouTube ads are hand down the fastest and easiest way to grow your business, as long as you keep in mind everything we covered today. Now, I know we covered a lot, but remember, you need a rock solid offer positioned for YouTube, right? And we talked about how to do that, how to get your copy, all that good stuff. Then you need that 3-part YouTube ad formula that converts viewers into leads and sales. Remember the hook, the body, the call to action. We're using AI to kind of help do all that kind of stuff, which is really cool. And then you need that 3-step YouTube ad framework to finding the right customers at the perfect time so you don't waste a bunch of money on ad spend. And that's just all the different targeting that we were doing, right? So with this 3-step framework, selling and scaling through YouTube ads becomes extremely easy. And in the VIP session, we are going to be talking about scaling. Obviously, we need some results. So what will happen is we'll basically figure out what's going to happen or what's going on with our specific audiences, which ads are resonating. And then we start to turn off the ads that aren't resonating and scale the ones that are and just increase the budget. It's extremely simple, right? So you can't afford to keep wasting your time on research while your business stagnates. You can't afford to lose thousands of dollars on failed ad campaigns that don't reach your audience. And more importantly, you can't afford to keep missing opportunities to make your mark and solidify your business and your brand authority. In fact, it's actually possible to double your revenue. Lee over here, he was cruising about 12 to 15K per month. And then we helped him install this into his business and he cleared over 30K 7 days into April. So he literally doubled his revenue using this system, right? Peter, I just did a webinar with him the other day. His videos are being viewed for pennies, 5 cents, 2 cents. And he's literally paying $16.88 to make a $600 sale, right? And I want you to be next. So do you really want to end up months or even years down the road struggling with your advertising, your lead gen, your traffic, your revenue, your targeting, and your brand authority? If you do, that's totally fine. But if you don't, and I don't want you to be struggling, right? I don't want you to struggle with your business. So if you don't do something about this now, you will end up stuck. You can't just keep repeating the same actions and expect to get a different result. Remember, cost of Facebook ads is on the rise. We've got stricter ad, limitations, fewer targeting options. All that stuff is going down. And that was in the wrong spot. So every day that goes by that you aren't posting an ad on YouTube, you are literally losing out on sales. The solution's right here in front of you. You need an opportunity, and I want to offer you the chance to speak one-on-one with me for a deep dive kickoff call, right? So you're going to leave this call knowing what your business needs to thrive, your custom tailored plan of action, and the answers to all of your YouTube ad questions. You're going to find the best way your business can take your conversions from Facebook, if you are running on Facebook already, and adjust and appropriately apply them to YouTube. That means scalability almost instantly. And also, you saw how fast you can get results with these YouTube ads, right? So I want to work together with you to ensure that we create a predictable way for you to generate leads and sales in your business, so that your YouTube ads will easily become a controllable tap of revenue. So basically what we've put together, we're doing, I'm going through and helping a bunch of people, or a handful of people, over the next 90 days, where I'm going to hold your hand and help you launch and scale your ads. You're going to get one-on-one support and guidance from me. You're going to get a fully customized plan of action for how you specifically need to go through this. And you're going to get expert analysis of your ads. You're going to get all my templates, all my frameworks, full access to Video Ad Vault and TubeSift and Limitless Authority, and so much more. So I do need to clarify that I will not work with just anybody. This is going to be a small group of people that we're working with, because there is a lot of one-on-one. I don't have time to work with everybody, and I want to make sure that the people that I am working with have the highest chance of success, right? I can't work with just anybody that's, wanting to. So there is a qualification process. I need to be as picky as who I work with as you need to be about who you entrust with your business, right? So I need to be certain that whoever I'm working with is serious about getting 4 to 8x revenue on their ad spend using the 3-step YouTube ad framework. So I'm going to drop a link right now into the, let me just snag that real quick. But basically, I've got a couple of spots I opened up on my calendar for this. Hey, where'd that go? For this. So I'm going to be dropping that link in about 2 seconds here. So I got too much stuff going on. Here we go. And I'm going to drop that into the chat for everybody right now. So I have limited spots over the next couple days. You should see that link in the chat box now. And basically what's going to happen is you are going to see that. Let's see. There we go. And it all starts with you booking a deep dive kickoff call with me to see if we're the right fit to work together, right? Now, doing this today is the most important thing you can do for your business, because I want to personally help you. So you're going to book that call, and then there's going to be a very short application on the next page. You do need to fill that out, and I think I have about 6 or 7 slots currently. I will open more up next week, but first come, first serve on those. So I dropped that in the chat for everybody. If you do not fill out that application, I'm going to cancel the call. I don't care. You have to answer a couple of questions. I just need to know a little bit ahead of time, where you're at, all that kind of stuff. You can even put, I don't know, whatever, but you have to fill out the application. Otherwise, I'm going to cancel the call. So go ahead and book your deep dive call. There's only a couple slots available. And looking forward to working with everybody, or everybody that jumps on board. And let me just give you a quick rundown on exactly, where we're at here, how this is all going to work, right? Just because I see a lot of questions coming through saying that, let's see, some people are saying, what exactly is this, right? So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing 90-day sprints. We're going to start towards the end of this month. What's going to happen is you and I are going to jump on a one-on-one kickoff call where we're going to map everything out from start to finish specifically for you. We're going to be doing weekly coaching calls over Zoom. You're going to get a members area with all those recordings, all the training. You're going to get access to Video Ad Vault Pro, TubeSift. I have a new video ad creator that we're actually rolling out in the next week or so. You're going to get lifetime access to that. It's really cool software. So I haven't really announced it yet, but you're going to get access to that. You get limitless authority. You get all our trainings. You get done for you targeting setups. So we'll actually help you build your audiences. And get all our landing page templates, a Slack group with access to myself, so you can ask me literally anything, anytime you want. I'm in Slack all the time. It's one of the very few apps I have on my phone. And then I'm going to give you unlimited get unstuck calls. If for some reason along this process you're like, hey man, I need a little bit of help with this or a little bit of help with that, we'll just jump on a quick call. We'll knock it out. Those usually take 15 minutes or so, all that kind of stuff. And basically what we're doing going forward, these are going to be like cohorts where we take a select number of people and help them launch their ads every 90 days. So we'll be doing 4 of these every single year. For the first group of people, I am offering a scholarship, right? So this is going to be much cheaper than it's normally going to be, or than it is going to be. And so the first group of people, the first round of people that go through this with me together, you're going to get a $2,000 scholarship. So we're knocking like $2,000 off the price right there. So that's solid. That's good for you. And then you're also going to get lifetime access for this first round of people to all of the cohorts. So every 90 days you can show up. And launch new campaigns, new business, like whatever you want to do there, you are going to get lifetime ongoing access to this and you will not get kicked out, right? So if for some reason something comes up in the first 90 days, doesn't matter. We're going to do it again 90 days after that, and you're going to get access to that. So that's kind of how we're doing this first time. So just kind of wanted to throw that out there. That link real quick, once again, is it's just like videoadscrack.com/book a call. And if you click on that, you can actually see our schedule, right? So I've got calls open up tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday. So, and those, a couple more will open up later. It's going to be a quick 1 hour call. You probably won't need a full hour. I just like to have some buffer in there and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm not even sharing my screen there. So, it's going to look like this. There we go. It's going to look like this, right? So, you can book a call with me. We will jump on. We'll see if you're a good fit. Again, I'm not going to be taking everybody. And I'm looking forward to working with a select group of people. We're going for about 10 people on this first round, just because there is a lot of one-on-one here, right? Obviously, I'm jumping on those personalized calls with you, helping make sure that you get everything set up. I know we covered a lot today, but I just want to make sure that, all right, like I know, this is extremely valuable. I see like a lot of people are freaking out in the comments being like, dude, this is the best webinar I've ever been to, extremely valuable. I know it was 4 hours, sorry about that, but you get the point, right? Throughout the 90 days, like I said, I know we did cover a lot, but we're going to be holding your hand through the process, helping you custom tailor your ad, your campaigns, your landing pages, your offer to specifically what's working on YouTube, and help you implement everything that you learned today in a step-by-step, probably a lot slower because obviously we just like crammed a bunch of info in today. But I'm going to help you hold your hand through the entire process and make sure that you have everything you need to effectively knock this out. And since it is 90 days, obviously we'll get those campaigns launched as quickly as possible and spend a lot of that time working on scaling, adding additional offers, additional ways to monetize that email list and all of that good stuff. So if there are any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and we will get going there. And let's see here. Is this TubeSift for $9.97? It is not. But you do get access to TubeSift, Video Ad Vault, and all my other $9.97 programs when you join this. So we'll get you those if you want them. So that's kind of how that's going to work there. Let me see here. Sorry, I've been talking way to like 4.5 hours straight. I'm about to die. Okay, cool. So a couple people are asking about the cost. I'll be straight up before you book a call. So the way this is going to work, It is going to be $6,000, right? So we're going to be doing this every 90 days. It's going to be $6,000 for everybody. We have a $2,000 scholarship. There's also a multi-pay option, so don't worry. We can split that up over the 90 days. But basically, it's $4,000 for joining that cohort, having us work with you and going through all of your ads and everything that you could possibly need to get this launched the right way the first time, right? So that's where we're at there. And we still have a lot of people on this call. So if anybody has any questions, jump on, let me know. But yeah, basically, part of this, we also jump on the first call with you. I forgot to mention this. We jump on a call. We all set up our ads together, but we'll also, for this first group, we're going to do one-on-one ad setup as well. So that's not something we are going to be doing. It's going to be more group format going forward. So everybody that gets in on this first round is going to, because I need to, obviously we're doing these trainings, all that kind of stuff. I need all the good recordings. I need interaction. I want to make sure we have a great group in this first one. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at there. So wasn't going to drop the price on here, but may as well just be straight up transparent there. Yeah, and like also for anybody that's maybe that's a little out of their price range. I see a couple people saying that. We definitely like TubeSift Video Ad Vault. You can get like I laid everything out in this training, right? So I'll just for everybody that wants the replay, they can scoop it here. This is your last chance to grab that. So here's that replay there as well. So that's oh man, those calls are going fast. My email's blowing up. So yeah, basically that's where we're at. Anybody that does want to book a call, see if you're a good fit, would love to work with you. We can help you from anything from affiliate marketing to growing your own business, doing this for clients. It doesn't matter. This works for anything. So